Alrighty, welcome back to Something About Tabletop. This will be episode 5, part 2 of talking about the Shadowruns.
This week, the actual character creation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to use.
Alright, same people as last time.
So next we have, in the book, it's step 2, metatype and attributes.
So we're back to the actual creation part now.
So this is actually creation. So say we're going to make our character. We are probably not going to make a character, though. We can just talk about the merits of all the different races and things like that, and the bonuses and negatives.
And how the system stacks up to 4th in some way.
Yeah, sure. Let's just start off with human. Human was a decent option in 4th. You could easily take another metatype, though. It was okay. It's the master race now. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
When looking at it from a statistic, bare bones point of view, you're going elf or you're going human.
It's mainly because human is at priority E as well.
Yeah,
You can still get an extra point of edge.
Instead of, like, the thing is, if you're, say, going a mage orc, right? What's going to be at E? Money. Okay. Then what if you need some money for your character? You quickly find out that your character is next to unplayable because you don't want to take E skills, I can tell you right now, and E attributes is just crippling. And some types of characters just aren't going to work. Which kind of makes sense from a thematic point of view if you think about it, because it's unlikely you're going to get a rich troll mage.
Or you're a squatting... Basically, usually you're a squatting troll mage who has to catch the boss everywhere.
Yeah. So,
That's
anyway,
not good, by the way.
Let's just push back to human. Basically, all their stats are 1 to 6, and they get a bonus edge. And also, just because of how the priority table works out, most humans on table, if they're not mages, are going to have 5 edge.
Yeah, usually. Especially if you're not...
Yeah.
Especially if you're mundane.
Yeah, mundane. It's only if you're mundane. Because you take E at magic, you take human at
Human
D, and that gives you 3 attribute points.
But I like to go E human and D money, and I could afford like a small folky.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. I'm probably more likely to take... Well, yeah, that's if you're going mage. That's if you're going mage, yeah.
Yeah.
Humans make alright everything, so that's the thing.
Yeah,
they
100%.
really are that sort of jack of all trades that do most of them really well.
And better than some. Elves are like your next master race. If you want to shoot real good, that's you play an elf.
Or if you want to talk real good,
You play an elf.
If you want to talk real good like what I does.
Yeah.
Like I do's the real goods.
Yeah.
Elves tend to lend themselves, because most of the time people are going to take elf at priority D. Sometimes there are circumstances where we take it at C. Elves are going to have F to the all edge, and edge is extremely important. Only having 1 is pretty crippling. You guys have definitely played with 1 edge before.
Yeah.
1 edge elves we've seen all the time.
Oh, I played 1 edge with a quality called Insomnia, and
No.
yeah, it's crippling because sometimes you don't get that edge back.
Yeah, we'll talk about the qualities later. That's going to be next, I think, actually.
That's not much to cover though, because there
Next.
are just a couple of key ones.
Super disappointed with this one because it's actually probably one of my favourite races in fantasy, dwarves.
Yeah.
They are just... Because it's priority C, and they're alongside the orc, I don't see much reason to take them. You get extra willpower, which is really cool, but the only problem is that the races that run it, I mean, dwarf, a really good street Sam, or a really good mundane character. He's pretty good. But anything other than that, because of how the priority table works, you either have to dump skills or attributes, and then you're just making up for it with the extra attributes that you get anyway, which I guess is okay. We haven't really experimented too heavily with dwarf because we don't have many dwarf fans.
I am a dwarf fan. I've done a lot of theory crafting with Chumma and just messing around with dwarves, but I never found them in a situation where I could really like them, even if they were mundane, because I feel like there was still a struggle because they're priority C with what you're doing with your money or
There's
your
just certain
skills.
characters that just don't work.
Yeah.
So, we haven't had a dwarf on our tables, have we?
Not since 5th edition came in. We had plenty of dwarfs during 4th edition.
We had plenty of 4th. Yeah, no, because dwarfs were okay, because it was 25
That's really the kind
PP.
of weakness of 5th, is that to be a dwarf, you kind of have to usually give something up, and it's usually not fantastic.
Next is orc, which is basically the superior dwarf. If you're going to be... Because basically dwarf gets base 3 body, maximum 8, base 3 strength, maximum 8, base 1 reaction, maximum 5, base 2 will, maximum 7. They also get +2 dice against pathogen and toxins, and 20% increased lifestyle cost. And also they run a little bit slower.
Mm.
Then there's the Orc, which is base 4 body, maximum 9, base 3 strength, maximum 8, base 1 logic, maximum 5, and the same for charisma, which isn't that crippling. As long as you stay away from those statistics, you're fine. And it's just so much better, because you also get low light vision, which is fairly useful.
It's extremely useful considering most of the work you do isn't like at night.
Yeah, like Orc is just so much better, and also, yeah, just
you can kind of work around it with the lower attributes as well, because you don't need to boost usually your strength any. You don't need to boost your body any, and for the most part,
if you take 14 attributes, like a D,
yeah,
it's not that bad.
you can. Yeah, it's still very workable, especially if you're playing a street Sam, because you don't need that much in your mental attributes anyway.
Yeah, you just dump your mental. That's Orc. Orc's pretty cool. We had Orcs.
I think we have had maybe one before. I think it may have been Wilco though.
That was a troll.
Okay, yeah, no, fair enough.
I don't think we've had an Orc either. Have you played an Orc?
No, I haven't played an Orc.
My first Shadowrun character was an Orc.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we have not.
You see, I think the real issue with 5th is you don't see as much variety in the races played as you do as 4th.
No, you really, really don't. It's disappointing. Something that I've heard that's actually a really good way to do it is actually not using the priority table, but there's the karma system, using karma to make characters. It goes back to BP. I'm not sure how well that'll go, but maybe we should try it sometime.
Maybe we should try it sometime, because it might be nice to see some more variety in what we're playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always going to play the same sort of things. That's the sort of guy I am. But
It'll go back to 4th edition and the problems with 4th edition, though.
That's the real crux of the problem, though.
You can min-max more. Trolls. Okay, so trolls, I think it's max B to get a troll.
Yeah, it has to be B. And even then, you don't get any special attributes, so you don't get anything towards the magical edge.
I think you do.
No, you don't. Not at B.
Troll 0, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so trolls, like we were saying before, they make the best gangers, because you might as well put that priority high somewhere. Oh my god.
And having one edge, yeah, like I said before, it's not good.
So, a way that you could build a troll, actually, is the one that I think we've seen, is actually troll at either A or B, attributes at either A or B,
I'd say
skills in C, money in D.
The magic at E, yeah.
That's a pretty good character,
That's
actually.
the thing.
Yeah.
Trolls, I think, work in the sort of senses that usually I think how you would build it, because they have some decently high base stats. Is
it's just building...
You put troll at A, because then you can get you can get more edge, and which is really good, because I believe he gets 3 edge points.
Five.
Five
Special attribute
it's
points.
5. So you can then maybe spec into mage and give up money, but who cares? Usually you want to go mundane.
I guess you could, yeah. That's the only way you could do it.
A troll, B attributes, C skills, D money, and then mundane.
Why so high, you ask? His base body, his equivalent of 1 is 5.
Yep.
5'10 body, 5'10 strength, and really terrible mental stats. 1-5 logic, 1-5 intuition, 1-4 charisma, and 1-4... I think, actually, the crippling point is 1-5 agility.
Yeah.
Oh, agility is important. Because in this game, you can only get 1 stat at max, which is, say, for a human, 1 at 6. But, so say you couldn't then take 6 in body as well, unless it's augmented that. And troll is the same, because you cannot get agility to 6. You take agility at 5, then you can't take anything else at 6. You couldn't get strength 10, as hilarious as that will be.
Mm.
But, trolls get thermographic vision, the best vision, +1 reach, +1 dermal armor, and I'm not sure this is actually taxing people for making this race, but it's a I guess, a flavor thing, which is 100% increased lifestyle costs.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's
That it does hurt. I think trolls though have the most sort of you were saying it earlier, but they have the most room to grow, because usually they don't start off with a lot other than your sort of base stats and some base gear, and then they have then they can go and get bio and cyber. They can go and they have a lot of room to grow in that regards.
Okay, so now we get to the point of magic and resonance. So, shall we do this now, like doing spells and just listing which ones are cool to have and just talk about them, or shall we do them later?
I think we should. I think if we do this quickly, we should just do it quickly, because there's not a lot to really talk about.
Is there?
There is a lot to talk about. I think a lot of it should just be covering sort of what you want to be looking at as new characters, because I think all of us older characters have found the sort of niches we like anyway.
Yeah, Sadly haven't, but... Anyway,
Whoa.
so pretty much there's many different types of magicians and magic users. Oh, they're right here. So you've got adepts, magicians, aspected magicians, and mystic adepts. So adepts are people... Yeah, like we said before, they don't use magical spells, they infuse their bodies with magic.
Unless you have elemental body, in which case you can become an element. But that is...
Yeah, infuse your body with magic. It's not a spell. Magicians can astrally project, astrally perceive. They can freely choose magical skills. They can get any of them. Their adepts are restricted. What can't they get? They cannot use sorcery, conjuring, or enchanting. A character creation, blah, 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 you basically get spells and stuff, and on the priority table it gives you free spells. Aspect magicians are magicians that only use one aspect of magicianing. So magicianing, there is conjuring, enchanting, and sorcery. Most people pick sorcery. Aspected magicians, a big problem with them is you don't get free spells, so on the priority table they're not the best. They're fairly good for combat mages though, because you can put D in it and then just take
just your blasting spells.
You could even, if you want to make a combat troll, then you could take Troll A. You could actually make a decent combat troll. And then there's Mystic Adepts, which are really powerful.
Hybrids.
In the book, basically, you're an Adept Magician. You cannot astrally or project or anything, but you do get spells. And you get power points, which you use for your Adept powers, and they have to pay karma for them. It says in the book 2, but it's been eroded to 5. When it was at 2, it was insane.
It was ridiculous.
I made a pretty strong character.
There was no reason to go Magician, or no reason to go Adept.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. Just go at Mystic Adept. It was so much
because
better.
you could still get all the good stuff because it only costs 2 per PowerPoint.
You could have just taken a few spells. It doesn't matter.
12 karma, whatever. I don't care.
Take a few spells. I have always got 4d6 to initiative. I'm gonna murder you all.
Yeah.
Just drop dice and start slinging spells everywhere.
Technomancers only have one type, the Technomancer.
Hopefully there'll be a Splat book coming out which will expand on that some more. We really need a hacking book, I think, for Shadowrun.
No, 100% think we need a hacking book right now. It's really lacking. So let's go back to magic. We'll just
It's okay, man.
It's okay. We'll overview the types of spells right now. Just talk about which ones that are there, and probably some notable ones in each group.
I've
got a dirty list of spells I'd like to get out of the way.
So let's just talk about. So where are the? I will just talk about them and down the list, and we'll just go from each point.
Do you want to talk about the traditions?
Oh yeah, traditions. Yeah, definitely. So you do it, Declan. You know the traditions.
Well, basically, your tradition basically decides on what your sort of casting stats will be dependent. So you always cast with spell casting, but it decides on what you resist drain with. And as you were saying earlier, if you choose sort of charisma-based ones, usually it's a sort of worship type one.
Yeah, in the base book, you have Hermetic and Shamanic. Mm-hmm. Shamanic magic is worshipping spirits and basically convincing them to do things for you. Most religious-based traditions use charisma. So say you're calling on the gods, saying, "Please help me now."
Yeah. And then there are some newer ones in Street Grimoire.
Oh, there are some really cool ones. And basically every single mythological, or old dead religion,
Shinto, Buddhism,
everything,
Chaos Magic,
man.
Wiccan. There are actually several subsets of Wiccan as well. There's also Druids. Druids are intuition casters. I think intuition casters are some of the more dangerous ones, though.
They're the most powerful. There's actually one that got released, which is finally one of my favourite magical groups. It's the Psionicis.
Oh, yeah, and I do.
Have you read that?
No, not yet.
Okay, so what the Psionicist believes is magic is just purely our minds. Everything that has been created with magic is basically our minds doing it. So gods do not exist. Spirits do not exist. We made those spirits with our thoughts. So Psionicist is basically all about egocentric use of magic, and it's basically for narcissists. It's very flavorful. I
don't know. I wouldn't say it's necessarily for narcissists, but it definitely is skewered that way.
Read it, and it actually directly says that basically the person who's a Psionicist believes that all magic that is created, it's only it. It's not manipulating a force.
Yeah.
It's causing it to happen.
Oh, it's so interesting. A lot of these traditions are ones you definitely want to look at it, and I think it's more worthwhile to look at what sort of tradition rather than necessarily just picking one that aligns with your thing, because it definitely adds a lot of flavour, especially when you have black magic, Shinto, Christianity,
And then
Wiccans and all sorts of
and then
stuff.
there's the logic one, which is hermetic, which is basically wizards.
And then you also have chaos magic and stuff like that. Nordic.
I think that's intuition. Anyway, what's your favourite tradition? Lily?
I used to go the what was the logic one again?
Hermetic.
Hermetic. Yeah, I used to like that style because it made more sense to me. But being as a min-max, I just go elf shamanic because it's just easy. Because
A charisma. A charisma.
Yeah.
You can still, even when you're min-maxing though, you can still take the time to sort of work that in, and it's not that bad, I feel. I mean, like, there are ways to justify what you're doing, especially if you can fit it in with characters. Yeah. But yeah, again, there is just min-maxing, but there's nothing I think wrong, especially when it comes to draining some of the more powerful spells, because you really don't want to take those negatives.
Yeah.
Alright, so the spells we got. So first we'll start with combat. So combat, I think every mage needs at least one of these.
Yeah, and not punch.
So combat, there's different types of spells, direct and indirect. The differences is that one is harder to resist but doesn't deal as much, and one is easier to resist but does more. There's AoE versions of every spell, and there's elemental damage. And elemental damage in this doesn't necessarily, like, it's weird. It's not like D&D where it's fire damage, it doesn't do anything else, or whatever, but fire damage actually burns things. Acid damage actually acids things. It doesn't necessarily deal more damage, or like acid doesn't do damage over time. It just it's really object stuff. Like lightning does stun,
Not necessarily.
Sometimes it does lethal, but it also rips apart electronics.
It rips apart electronics, and I believe it also... I think lightning is one of the stronger ones out of memory, because it actually also has an effect on the person if you
they drop to
with
the
it.
ground,
One of my favourite moments in Shadowrun is when I at maximum force cast a lightning bolt at a helicopter and shot it out of the sky.
That's always fun,
Yeah, that was pretty...
Fry the system and watch it crash. Burn you bastards.
Yeah, combat's pretty simple. There's not really much to say about those. You can't really say there's the most overpowered spell. Elemental-based damage spells are always fucking good.
Fireball, especially if you're in a club and you want to kill everyone
but
in the
you
club.
you could just do the pure magic one, and they have a lower drain.
Yeah.
It's really your preference with the combat.
Yeah, we'll go over the actual how spells work. I think we talked about it a little bit last time, but basically, you roll your dice, you pick a force, so most of the time, your magic score, and you get a number of hits. Your limit is your force, and then with those hits, you get net hits or whatever, the spell goes off, and then you have to roll against drain, which is subject in the spell, which is force, take, or plus, whatever, depending on the spell. Error spells say force -1, while single target force -3. There are some touch spells, like knockout, which is force -6.
And that will be stun damage, but if you go over your magic score, you can go up to twice your magic score. That will be physical damage you're resisting.
Yeah, and that can be really nasty.
Yes.
Yeah, but some of these spells are designed so you do, like lightning bolt. Actually, I've seen a lot of people go force 8.
That's true.
Because you need 5 hits is all you need to resist that. That's not hard for some characters.
I've gone force 12 twice.
It's fun.
Yeah, but you also like to take risks and be... I like to live dangerously.
So then there is... also you can double cast spells. Usually it's a complex action, but you can actually +3 to the drain and cast 2 per turn.
Yeah, reckless.
Wow, I've not actually seen anyone do that. Yeah, that seems...
No, people don't do it.
It's dangerous.
You should watch me play a friggin' mage.
Yeah.
No, you do things like lightning bolt. You just do 4 6s. You do 2.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, no... I'd probably be a really dangerous caster all the time, to be rather honest.
I want to do 2 force 12s in a row. That's a drain of 14.
I burn an edge to succeed.
Guys, it's okay. Guys, I took human at sea. Initial edge of the drain.
Right.
It's fine.
So, detection magic. Detection magic seems very lackluster, but it's where the occult investigator gains her power.
Oh, it's where it's at, in my opinion.
So you got all these detect spells which detect things. They're really vague. Then there's spells like Combat Sense, really good buff spell, Clairvoyance, Clairaudience, basically your spying spells. And then there's...
Mind Link.
No, a little bit to the right there. Mind Probe. This fucking spell.
Yeah, like you could be like the nice one and analyze truth while you're investigating them. No, they're lying. Or you could just walk up to their mind and rip out all the information, and they're screaming in pain.
Well, it's not painful, but basically it's so easy. If you get 3 to 4 net hits, the subject can find out anything the target consciously knows and view the target's recent memories up to 72 hours. And at 5+, the subject can probe the target's subconscious mind, gaining information the target may not even be consciously aware of.
Yep.
So if you can get 5 net hits with this spell, you can find out their dreams.
Human Mage, Edge Probe.
What I like as well is there's
Critical success.
there's Detect Life, which isn't always a good idea because you're going to clubs and stuff. There's just people everywhere. So
noise is everywhere.
there's
In a crowded area, the spell is virtually useless.
Yeah.
But there's more refined ones like Detect Enemies.
Detect enemies, detect magic, detect objects.
Yeah, so you
I still think Mind Link's a really good one.
Oh wow, you could totally pick detect decks. You could take detect decks. So you know
yeah,
someone's got
there's a hacker up there.
That's actually really cool. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, or even just like detect guns, because you can walk in a club and you can know who's armed and who's not. And,
I'm
like,
gonna walk into a Shadowrunning gun and detect guns.
There's also some other cool spell.
well, if people are hiding in invis and have guns on them.
All right. Next is health. So health spells are healing, debuffing, and buffing attributes. This is your buffing score.
that
This is
Snoop Dogg?
transmutation. Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll put that up, but that kind of looks a little like Snoop Dogg as a mage to me.
Oh, not really. He looks like a fucking reggae weird.
I'm sorry.
Master. Who cares?
From my angle, it was just like, is that goddamn Snoop Dogg?
But, oh my god, buff mages.
Oh, yes.
Jesus Christ. Here's my elf with, like, if you've got an 8 agility, I'm just gonna, like, buff you, like, to...
Yeah, have a million passes.
have like,
Yeah.
another
So
6.
spells of note, increased reflexes, and heal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stabilize isn't necessarily a terrible one, but then again, heal.
Yeah.
I also like decrease attribute.
Oh, yeah,
where
decrease attributes.
You
you just
touch
walk,
them, but,
yeah,
yeah.
you walk up to them.
Mystic Adepts, though.
I get rid of all of your strength. You're on the floor.
I like your body personally.
Yeah. Welcome to being a cripple.
I don't think you can reduce it to 0.
Oh, no.
Oh, if it is reduced to 0, if a mental attribute,
Wait, you can do mental
if a
attributes?
physical attribute is reduced to 0, the victim is incapacitated and paralyzed.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Luckily, it's touch. If that was line of sight,
No, but again, if you played a Mystic Adept that was
Yeah.
focused on, like, sort of melee, and then go up to people who were, like, better than you and just, like, touch, and it's like, now you're worse than me, and just punch them in the face.
Or you can just be like, 0, goodbye.
oh, that's a troll.
Actually,
okay,
no.
I'm going to decrease his charisma to 0.
Well,
He's dead.
Actually, I just had a
No,
thought.
you're incapacitated. You do nothing
No,
when your charisma is 0.
it's physical attribute.
No, read here. It says here, if a mental attribute is reduced to 0, the victim stands still, mindlessly confused. If you have no charisma, you have no
Guys.
sense of self, so you can't move.
Guys, I have a thought.
What?
Because we just realized it's only good if you're in touch range with invisibility.
Yeah, easy.
Touch.
So, next
The
is
troll stands there.
illusion is next. This is probably one of the funner ones.
Yeah.
You can. It also has one of the most used spells probably ever. This is improved invisibility.
There's some people who I would say use it wrong though, in that it says in improved invisibility, but I feel like some people read it as improved
Invulnerability.
invulnerability. Let's
Yeah.
face it. How many times
I fell into the trap when I first
sorry.
started. When I
What?
first started,
I'm not trying to pick
If you
up.
cannot see me, well, invisibility does not mean you cannot be seen. There is so many ways to see people invisible. It's not funny.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised if you start abusing invisibility that the gangers that you're versing all of a sudden get a whole lot more dogs and mages.
And they start, and the corporations start having a lot more ultrasound and thermographic cameras,
Yeah.
evenly spaced at
I
about
don't
30
think- no, I
meters.
think-
Thermographic doesn't
Yeah,
work because thermographic is based on light.
Yeah,
Heat is
sorry.
a type of light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Ultrasound cameras every 30 meters.
Illusion's also good at debuffing. It's really good because you can give people negatives and stuff, like spells like Bugs and Swarm. It's also really good Trid entertainment, just to confuse people, like to make it look. I remember what you did once too, is to, you made a guy running across a field to make a guy shoot him, the sniper, so you can find him and stuff like that.
Oh no, it's Johnny Wong.
Also, there's not really other spells in here that are that great.
there's
Stealth, maybe.
mask if you want to
Mask, yeah, physical mask.
be the chameleon mage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good one, because I believe this isn't Muscles the physical one.
Yeah, physical
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah, of course.
Then there is anything else you guys want to say about illusion?
Not really. It's got a lot of use. I think there's a couple of really useful skills in it, and the rest are kind of situational.
There's Trid Phantasm, which you can just make anything look like anything you've seen before.
Yeah, it's Johnny Wong.
I'm hiding in the back of a truck, and they open it. I just make it look empty. Yeah.
Manipulation spells. This is the... Okay, we're not going to go through these. We're going to go pick our favourites. One each, guys.
You go first.
Mob Mind.
Yeah, of course.
I control all of their minds. I tell them to commit suicide.
It's an area spell where I can control their thoughts and put a 3-second phrase into their mind.
It's Mob Mind. Let's just read it. The magician seizes control of the target's mind, directing everything the target thinks. The magician mentally gives commands with a standard action, and the target is compelled to obey them. Control thoughts affects a single target, while Mob Mind affects all living things. So it's just it has to be one thing. You tell them to do one thing.
Shoot yourselves.
Well, for the most part, usually what you do is you do Mob Mind, shoot your friends, and then when all the friends are dead, you go shoot yourselves.
Yeah, that's right. I make them.
You're a horrible person.
Okay. Any other spell?
Honestly, like, this may seem really dumb, but levitate.
I was going to say levitate.
Levitate is so useful.
It's flying. It's the only way you can gain flying. It's not very fast. I think let's read
it's not, but like, if you have someone in in a chameleon suit who needs to get over a barbed wire fence, it's like...
Spells force in meters combat per turn. Okay, that's not that great.
This one's hilarious.
No, but levitate is still very useful.
It's not in here. It is in a new book, though.
Street Grimoire?
It's in Street Grimoire. It's Turn to Goo.
Yes. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh my god, this spell, basically you can point at someone and they just... And then if they have wear, if you pick up their wear, because it stays there, and you pull it out of the goo, when they change back, they take damage as if their wear had been ripped out of their heads.
Oh my god. That's disgustingly...
Yeah,
Imagine
also...
you're a deck with a colic in your head.
Taking up again, yeah, no shit. Another spell, which is one that I use in 4th lot, and it is in Street Grimoire, is turning into animals.
Yes, that
It's
can
really
be fun.
good. Yeah.
So long as you turn into a bird.
So that's all the spells. We got some adept powers. Let's pick some of our... We'll get 2 favourite adept powers each. So things that adept powers have, we'll just summarise them quickly. Boosting your stats. Giving you extra things you can't normally gain.
Extra dodge dice with combat sense.
Extra dodge dice, extra initiative, improve reflex is the most popular adept power in my opinion.
Yeah.
And improve attribute.
Spell resistance can actually be really good.
Oh, that's really good.
Traceless walk and probably improve...
Your favourite too. Go
on. Probably... I'd honestly say combat sense and improve reflexes because I feel like it gives you just... It is a disgusting amount of dodge when you get it.
You can make a dodge character with that.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Dodge character... So you only need to be mildly good at shooting because you can... If you put your reaction to 6 and then get improved reflexes 3, that's 9 reflex. And then if you spend the last of your... if you have like magic 6, you can still spend like 2.5 points.
On combat sense and then also have 5 intuition.
Yeah.
You can have like 17 dodge dice.
Yeah, you can have... It is a ridiculous amount of dodge dice.
It's really disgusting.
Yeah, it's really, really disgusting.
Alright, your 2 favourite adept powers.
Improved physical attribute because I'm a nasty min-maxer. This is where, this is where adepts do what, BioWare, characters do.
Yeah.
It does cost more power points, but it still is good.
Yeah, that and Traceless Walk.
Yeah.
Because I like stealth characters, and -4 to hearing me and not leaving footprint is great.
What's the thing? Like, I just love combat sense too much. I always pick it up if I have a few points spare.
You already said some ones that I do enjoy, but some things also Street Grimoire is the Elemental Fist and the Elemental Body.
Yeah. But I love punching characters, but they require so much to make them work.
Yeah, so there's not really much... so that's magic, and then there's the Technomancers, but Technomancers are basically hackers. I don't think we're going to cover too much into that. We could do a whole friggin' episode on hackers.
I think doing an episode on hackers may actually be more worthwhile, simply because hackers have way too much to cover, I think.
Yeah, way too much. So if you want an episode on hackers, leave it in the comment section below. We can run down, maybe do a mini little session on hacking, whatever, just to explain how it works.
And maybe even just run through the real differences between like the nitty gritty of what Technomonsters can do versus the sort of hacker, so you can get a sort of really good idea of what each one is capable of.
Yep. Or even if you would like a full rundown of the spell list. So next we have qualities. So there's lots of different... So there's positive and negative qualities. So... There's some gripe with these because people... So, your positive qualities, they cost karma. Negative qualities give you karma and give you a negative. These are a great way to flesh out a backstory, flesh out character, who it is, but usually...
Or to min-max.
Or to min-max. And people use it almost 100% our group. I think we're straying away from that now. I think this recent campaign, I'm really pushing for roleplay-based quality and character decisions.
All my negatives are usually always to flesh out my character's backstory, but usually a lot of my positives are always my min-maxing. That's just how I usually roll.
Yeah, sure. Unless, of course, there's a positive quality that really speaks out to you. I mean, the positive qualities are only really there for some bonuses.
Well, if I have a couple of points left over, like if I haven't used my allotted 25 karma positive and I see something that's flavorful that I like, I'll pick it up.
Well, usually, like, say, if you come from 2 different countries, you probably should take bilingual, yeah.
Bilingual's really funny to have. Or, then again, it can be really funny if you come from one country and you don't speak English so well, like some of our characters have.
Yeah. Anyway, so... Let's just do this again. Maybe 3 positive qualities to talk about each. How's that sound, guys? Fair?
I think I'll let you go first with this one, Tom.
Me? Sure.
With Blah.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's just get these out of the way because let's do the min-maxes. Aptitude, exceptional quality.
I don't really like that personally, but...
Yeah, I know. I'm just putting the ones... These aren't my favourite. These are just ones that I'm going to talk about. Aptitude, exceptional quality, and mental spirit.
Oh god, mental spirit.
We're not going to go too heavily on mental spirits because it's got lots of options, but we'll talk about some of the funny ones.
The Raven, you're a dick.
So what all the aptitude and exceptional quality do is aptitude, I think that's for skills. It raises the maximum you can get at skills at character creation and the maximum during the game, which is 7 at character creation, 13 during the game.
Oh, yeah.
Exceptional at attribute. It increases one of your stats maximums by 1. You want your 8 agility elf, your 9 agility elf, your 11 body troll, whatever.
Yeah. The counter to that for your special though is lucky, so you can have 8 edge.
That's not a very good quality, to be honest.
I know.
Actually, exceptional attribute I think also works for edge.
No, it doesn't. I believe lucky is what was required for edge.
Oh, cannot be affected by exceptional attribute. Oh yeah, sorry. It's only magic and resonance that can be up to here.
Yep.
Which they changed. And then, mental spirits. So mental spirits can only be taken by adepts, mystic adepts, and magicians.
They are so flavorful, but they can be so crippling.
So
sometimes.
basically what mental spirits do is they give you a really cool bonuses in multiple aspects of your character, with casting and stuff based on flavor. So say the spirit of the cat, better stealth and things like that, but I think you like to toy with things. And then there's the biggest one, which is Spirit of the Raven.
Fuck the Spirit
or
of the
Spirit
Raven.
of Party Wipes.
I have done this before.
There's the Spirit of Trickster in 4. So what it gives you is I think it gives you free traceless walk or something like that.
That's if you're an adept.
Yeah, and also gives you bonuses to illusion spells and stuff.
And to sneaking.
And to sneaking.
It's
and
so
then,
good. But it's so
well, the
terrible.
minus is, which is a lot of the qualities, is you have to make a willpower plus charisma check when a certain thing happens, and the threshold is 3. This is, you just get like, hey, you should replace all the bullets in your friend's stuff with non-lethal. It'll be funny.
Or like the time I replaced our snipers rounds with flare rounds.
Yeah. So it's you can dick over the party and the DM can fuck you over. There's actually one that I've heard of. It's the seducer.
Oh god.
So this is how you kill someone who has the seducer mental spirit. I don't know why you do this as a DM. You're only trolling a player if you do so. So you have to make a willpower plus charisma check to not do a vice. That's okay. It's like you have addiction everything. That's if someone offers it to you. So someone comes to the door of or they go to a club, and someone offers the seducer a Nova Coke.
Yes.
So she takes the Nova Coke. Nova Coke, you get bonuses to charisma and stuff, but when you come down off of it, for an equal time you are on it, your willpower and charisma becomes 1. So, now that you have willpower and charisma 1, the guy offers you more Nova Coke. Roll 2 dice and get 3 hits.
The only way around it is
Edge.
Is to burn.
Burn edge or use edge to succeed, but if you don't have any edge for the rest of the day, that's all right.
You're fucked.
The DM can kill your character.
No,
with
you
another
can still burn an edge when you don't have any left, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
I'm just saying that if you've only got like 1 edge and then it happens again, you're fucked, mate.
Yeah, you could die.
Yeah.
And it's a really dirty way that a DM can fuck you over.
Yeah, that's a dig DM.
Yeah.
Also, just be careful with just taking Novicoke.
You just have to be careful.
So,
Novicoke's so dangerous.
Josh, what do yourself? Any cool qualities that you enjoy?
Yeah. One that I like, since I like my stealth characters, is cat-like. Because
it's just bonus to sneaking tests.
Plus to the sneaking tests. Another one for face characters is first impression. Hey, I just met you.
And this is crazy.
Yeah, so
plus 2
to my charisma checks.
Plus 2 relevant social skills such as negotiation and con during the first meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is crazy, but I'm a pretty cool guy. Call me maybe.
And then you meet him again, then you realise what a dirtbag he is. So you don't like him as much.
And another one is actually quick healer, because I tried making a healing character once and it worked really well. You have lots of things living inside of you, and
it's not necessarily too bad on Technomancers either, because
it's sweet on mages and Technomancers because that's healing your stun damage.
Yeah,
it's really good because you roll power plus body and plus 2. Why not?
It's really
every hour.
It's really cheap.
Yeah. Okay, yourself, Herbert.
Now, this is the one where it gets really weird, because I'm usually the one who spends most of his time min-maxing, but the ones I actually really love are photographic memory, analytics, and... where is it?
Analytical mind? No, is that analytical mind? Blandness?
I like analytical mind. I like...
Don't like blandness?
Blindness is alright, but I think I love jury rigging more.
Oh my god, jury rigging is such
jury
rigging. Where is
photographic mind, jury rigging, and of course the first one I keep forgetting.
Yeah, so let's just have a look at jury rigger. It's so cool. Pretty much you get a plus 2 modifier on mechanical tests when jury rigging gear, and pretty much it just allows you to do these 3 things. Jury rigger destroyed device, so it'll operate for just one more time, 1d6 minutes. Tweak an electronical device to function at a rating 1 higher for 1d6 combat turns. Temporarily coax extra performance out of a vehicle or drone's components, which is increasing its handling by 1. There's more. Improvise a one-shot device or weapon, GM discretion. Devise an impromptu means to bypass a security measure such as a trip beam or a pressure plate.
I just really love jury. I think it's really cool, and I think that's one of the. I think one of the cool ways is if you were to play a driver, would be to necessarily maybe just play an edge driver where you don't take as many points in it. Yeah. You focus more heavily, and then you have jury rigger, and you just use edge to sort of cram stuff together. But I really love analytical mind. I do really like the sort of investigator character, and I love taking analytical mind on him. And at the same time, I also love taking photographic memory, but making him a minor adept and focusing on. Also getting 3-dimensional memory. I like basically just making a computer investigator man.
Photographic memory is just plus 2 on memory checks, but it's also a flavour of your character has photographic memory.
Yeah, I just like it. I mean,
analytical mind is plus 2 on puzzles, pretty much, and recognising things. So DMs can give you hints.
DMs can give you hints, and usually that doesn't come up a lot. But again, I really like them, just flavorfully wise, especially when I play my investigators or. Yeah. My hackers. I love having it there so that they have these sort of they can remember what systems look like, or I just feel like it's really flavorful, especially if you're playing a hacker, if you have analytical mind. Because you don't necessarily get the bonus all the time, but I feel like it's just it just feels very flavorful to me.
Alright, so now we have finally
the negatives.
Negative qualities. Boop ba ba doo doo ba 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 doo. You can start with this, Hobo. What are your least favourite and most favourites? Whatever, just pick whatever you want. I'm going to probably talk about the problem ones, but yeah. What do you get?
I have most of my problems are with people taking. I like taking addictions, but usually only mild or moderate, and usually they're my pretty standard vices. I usually like taking smoking and drinking because I feel like that's a sort of very human thing to do. Is just to just to
cop out.
It is, but I only usually take it on a very mild level. So I do like it in that. I think incompetence really funny, but I feel the one I really have a sort of gripe with is I'm only going to do 3. I'll do 4 because there's 2 I've seen now that I really hate. I really hate distinctive style, and I really hate Insomnia because I feel like Insomnia, it's really crippling, but I'm not sure the karma cost is worth for it.
You can get 15 karma off of it, which is one of the higher.
You
That's
can, but that one is really crippling.
Yeah, it is.
And distinctive style, I feel like is a real. I think
it's just a straight out cop out.
I think it's more of a cop out than honestly addiction sometimes.
It is. I don't take it. I used to take it, but now I just don't. I just don't see a point.
Yeah.
So basically, distinctive style, people remember you more because you look cool. Insomnia, you have trouble sleeping, so you don't regen as fast. Incompetent.
And it's also healing, I believe, with insomnia.
Yeah. Incompetent.
You can't
pretty much you cannot use a skill group. You pick a skill group, can't use it. There is a DM's only going to allow you to pick certain ones. Like if you go to me, I'm incompetent outdoors. I'll be like,
no.
I'm sorry, this campaign, those checks are not going to come up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say pick another one because a lot of you guys probably have incompetent outdoors.
The one I usually pick up actually is usually incompetent firearms.
Firearms is pretty popular. Alright, Lloyd?
One of my favourite ones is Bad Rep because it adds roleplay.
You gotta have a reason for having bad rep.
Yeah, no, it adds backstory. Like it forces me to come up with the backstory. Whether or not you do is a different thing. But and it gives opportunities for the DM to give you jobs to redeem yourself and stuff.
Yeah, you can definitely work towards it. It becomes more of a character. I think it definitely is more character-focused, sort of negative.
One that I find quite flavorful is Code of Honor. There's only one that I really like, though, which is the Warrior's Code, which means you don't... Like, it's the pacifist. Someone who won't fight someone who's not already fighting you.
Warrior's Code isn't a pacifist. It's more like a samurai.
It's honourable.
It's honourable fighting it. It's not a pacifist. Yeah. You fight when you're looking at each other. Like, you tap them on the back and go, hey mate, we're fighting now. Give them a weapon if they don't have one. Then you fight.
Yeah. It has to be all honourable.
Yeah.
And...
There, you can take... Yeah, the Code of Honor is something that can be easily abused because it can give you 15 karma.
But I reckon you should be able to make up your
You can.
own.
It literally says you can do it.
Oh, you can make up... Yeah,
look at this. This is all about how you make it and what happens. But this is your pacifist. You say, I don't kill. That's a Code of Honor. Yeah, and that one's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah. That one's really crippling. And one that adds another interesting dynamic to your character is dependence. Like, currently I have 2 dependents, one at a level 3 and one at a level 9. Which is the maximum, which is causing my character great stress because I need to look after a daughter and I have a wife that's hostage.
Yeah. I feel like some of these negatives are more suited towards NPCs though, like with Scorched, because I also have a dependent. Yeah. I also do kind of like dependents, but I feel like they can also kind of be a cop-out, especially at the 4th level, because like I have a dog.
Yeah.
I play with my dog sometimes.
So let's look at mine. Negative qualities. There isn't... I've got to say, they need to get more negative qualities in. Yeah. Some little books aren't really bringing them in.
They do bring them in, but I feel like a lot of them don't really do a lot.
Here's a cop-out. Bad luck is a pretty big cop-out.
Yeah.
1d6, when you use edge, it does the opposite.
If you only have one edge, you never really use edge, I guess. But
that's it.
I don't...
Gremlins is a massive cop-out. Basically, it is, but if you're just... So, when describing effects of gremlin, blah, blah, blah... Yeah, so gremlins basically, technology devices malfunctioning explicitly, fragile to touch, wireless links suffer, pretty much when you glitch easier. It's not that, it's something cool thematically, and if you play it up, you can make it work, but you have to play it up.
Yeah.
Then there's also Sin. This one, okay, so Sin's an interesting one. A low-level Sin's okay, but the thing is it really depends on how your players are role-playing their Shadowrunners next to the other player who is a Sinner. Because if they find out, they might get like, oh shit, man, that's pretty bad. And if they find out they're a corporate Sinner...
Oh my god.
I actually think corporate Sinner is nowhere near as bad. I think you actually get way too... It's the criminal sin... You don't get way enough for what it gives you. You have to regularly report into the police. They watch you. I believe they actually have also trackers on you as well. Yeah.
A corporate sin. Pretty much, you have your income. 10% of it goes to them. It means you're actually working with the sin. You're a corporate born. He could have enjoyed top secret clearance with the corporation and access to nearly unlimited blah blah blah. So basically. Yeah, your character is a secret agent from a corporation, usually with corporate sin. Or you're just a corporate lackey that's for some reason a Shadowrunner. I don't know.
Gotta make more money than you do as
a so that's positive and negative qualities. Next we've got skills. Oh, bloody hell.
We could just cover the ones we mostly see used, I guess.
Yeah, so skills are interesting ones. These ones make the characters, and there's definitely some better than others. There's some really weak skills, like the outdoors skill group, which is survival, is just a almost useless skill, but tracking and negotiation is pretty good.
Yeah.
Other than that, you've got your fairly normal... the charisma skills are con, impersonation, performance, influence, etiquette, leadership and negotiation, and intimidation. Oh, they actually have all in here, yeah. So you can definitely see by looking at this, agility has the most skills.
Yeah.
Because agility is all shooting.
No, logic has.
Yeah, but a lot of them are crap.
No, I think you find that they're just a lot
It's a lot of mechanic skills too.
Yeah.
Aerospace mechanics.
Hacking and software, yeah.
Because you do a lot of those in-space campaigns.
Yeah, so I guess we'll pick out some of our favourite skills and skills we never miss out on. We'll start with Bluey for this one.
I like long arms because snipers are overpowered as...
Snipers and shotguns.
Yeah, long arms covers, I think, the widest variety of weapons. You can still get fully automatic weapons with, I think you can. Some long arms are fully automatic.
I quite enjoy demolitions, though. I did play a demolitions character, and that was pretty fun.
Demolitions characters always are a lot of fun.
Very niche, but pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. The demo guy is, again, he's a sort of add-on character, but when you have him around, oh god, is it
Well, you
fun?
don't have to specialise into demo guy. You just you have a decent logic, or you have like 3.
Yeah.
You take 5 in the skill, you've got 8 dice. Specialise 10.
And,
That's not that bad.
As I've said previously throughout this podcast, is sneaking. I love being stealthy.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm just going to put it out here. Perception.
Yep.
You need to see things, or you die.
Yeah. Or hear them.
So that one should always be high. That's why I never really dump intuition either. It's a very important stat. Weapons, pistols. Everyone takes pistols. I like pistols. Pistols is good.
Because they're small and concealable.
Yeah, concealable. They're good. Interesting. Driving. I think every character should at least have a point of driving.
Yeah,
You need to be able to drive. It just helps.
Yeah. Don't catch the bus everywhere, especially with huge notoriety and public awareness. It's bad, man.
Alright, Hobo, what about yourself?
This is a quick rundown, of course. Perception, sneaking, driving, and I think I honestly think almost all characters should have at least 1 point in con and negotiation.
Yeah.
Usually I take 1 point, and then I specialize with negotiation into diplomacy or bargaining, depending on which one I feel like at the time.
Yeah, well, bargaining's how you get your gear.
Yeah, and that's depending if I'm more gear focused. Usually, I take it in bargaining. If I just want to talk to people, most of the time I'm usually taking it in diplomacy. And I think con is really good because you don't do this to us a lot, but I know there are some DMs that would definitely, if you're waiting around for a job and you're doing something, if a Lone Star officer comes up and asks you what you're doing and you have no con, oh god, that can be a problem.
Con isn't necessarily lying, though. That's based on your composure, actually. Like when he's trying to read you, he's using his intuition, insight against your composure.
Yeah, what I normally do is take etiquette and just try and blend in with the crowd.
Etiquette is how you blend in.
Fair enough.
Con is conning someone. So convincing them to do something they wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, in that case, replace con with etiquette, and then basically you have...
Yeah, etiquette is actually etiquette. It doesn't seem like it's important. When we first started Shadowrun, we didn't even why do I... Who cares what spoon I use? Yeah. But etiquette is
very important.
Acting how you should in various different social situations, not just at the dinner table of like a 19th century fucking... Yeah, where most people think...
No, that's the cheese fork!
Why are you using the cheese fork?
Damn it!
Yeah, that's
a melon baller!
There's a ton of other skills. We'll definitely chuck up a million skills. Right there. Look at that. It's million skills all over there. Oh, look at them.
Look at those skills.
So many skills.
Definitely needs wobbly background and dubstep.
Skills.
Just look at those skills.
Look at body and that 2 skills. Yeah. Skill character. Don't need to max body. You only get diving and free falling.
Hey man, what if my character's a base jumper?
Okay, so... I don't think there's much we can do. What?
Wait, I want to cover one thing because I know you hate this.
What do I hate?
And I thought I'd bring it up because I just remembered it. Automatics.
What about it?
Because pistols are under automatics as well as other stuff.
If you can use an assault rifle, you should be able to use other weapons. I really friggin' hope so.
That's the thing. Like the problem, I guess, I kind of have with automatics is that they have the most variety in the sense that you can get basically rifles, and they can also be battle rifles or sniper rifles or shotguns, depending on some of the modular ones.
The range on them is 50 meters is the first range increment. You're going to be in that range increment.
So then you have your battle weapon, but then you can take an SMG for like more stealth missions. But then you can also have a machine pistol.
Yeah,
so basically you can have you can have your rifle, your submachine gun, and you can have a pistol all in the one group.
Okay,
and it feels very strong.
We can't really do much over this unless we do a whole entire episode of it
on resources. And
resources, all the shit you can buy in this game. I'm just going to say the biggest thing with this. Oh yeah, there's gear checklist. Look at this. I forgot this was here. I didn't even realize. People need to look at this. Look at this. We'll put that up there for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the stuff that you need in this game. There's many choices. Also, I hate it when people come to a session and go, I've done my character. Cool. I haven't done gear yet, though.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. So you haven't done your character.
Yeah, that's like 40% of your character.
I spend the most amount of time, I think, actually laboring on gear. I am so...
Mage's not so much, though.
No, but I am so obsessive and meticulous, especially when I play Spec Ops characters.
Yes. I have so much gear.
I am so meticulous, and I just spend so long trying to manage my funds and money to get exactly what I want. And when I have a lot of money, God forbid, I have so much junk.
When you're a BioWare or Cyberware, there's just so much.
Yeah, that's where your wear comes from as well.
Although I will say one thing, a universal thing, you should probably invest in a really good fake sin.
Fake sin's rating 4, usually a standard on every single one of my characters.
Yes. Never underestimate the two most important items. A crowbar and a flashlight.
Yeah.
You will show up one time without a flashlight and no one else will have a flashlight and you'll be like, shit, we have to rob the janitor.
Yeah, I remember we had an online campaign where you guys had to actually borrow a flashlight from the janitor in the building because...
I've never had that problem because I've always got goggles with low light vision. And shit.
Low light vision is, if it's dark, you don't see though. It's low light.
Yeah, it's only low light. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and that was the one campaign where I didn't have enough money to take a flashlight, and I was just like, stuff. I don't need a flashlight.
Wouldn't they just be like 5 new yen?
No, they're 25 new yen.
Wow, that's expensive.
The heavy duty flashlights are really expensive, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Plus, this is inflated prices of 2076 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Leftover karma.
Phones are $8,000, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, leftover karma. Oh, look. What can you do with it? Let's have a look.
Contacts.
Additional purchases and restrictions. Let's put that up there.
Really? You can...
Look at this. Bound spirits, complex forms, spells, bound folky, contacts, registering spirits.
One thing I like to do is leave one attribute at 1 and boost it to 3 with a lot of attribute. You can boost
it to 2 by spending 10 karma.
It's
a really good trick. Like, if you're going to have something at max, like say if you're going to have a 2, like say 6 logic, 2 strength,
you might
take it at 1, bump it up with karma, and then bump up your logic with your logic from 5 to 6, and it actually costs you way less.
Yeah,
in the long run.
It costs like 10 karma. It
stresses your karma. You can also get money with karma, 2,000 money per karma. Something I do with all of my, not that much
money. Yeah.
Yeah. We've already covered contacts. That's here. That's where they talk about contacts. Actually, is right here. Some ones that are really good. Street Doc, Talismonger.
It's all sort of
Ganger is good.
It's also a situation, but the universal ones you usually want is you usually want a fixer.
Yes.
You usually want an arms dealer.
Yes.
And you usually want a street doc.
Yeah, arms dealer is not just arms; it's also armor.
So yeah, that's the thing. Like
most Arble gear. Then there's the final calculations table right here at the end. You just basically overlook it and you write down all your derived stats. This is where your mental, physical, and social limits come from.
Basically, all your mechanical sides are really kind of done.
Yeah, final touches. There's not really much else, but Shadowrun character creation is very, very engrossing and something that I really... I haven't played many new characters.
But you make a lot of characters, yeah.
Not really. I haven't actually made many 5th edition characters.
You make conceptual characters.
Yeah, I've looked at the table and I know how it works. But something that I definitely want to do if we ever do another campaign, or what we're actually running one now, is pretty much actually writing backstories and really getting into the character, trying to actually give him the life out of Shadowrunning. Because most of the time in Shadowrun, you're doing every fortnight to a month you're doing a run, depending, and actually you need to. Like later, mages need downtime. Sometimes they need 2 months off.
Yeah.
And you know, as a DM, you have to facilitate that. But what do you do about your... Sometimes you give them trickles of money, like say you've done bodyguard jobs, but later down the track, they don't have to worry. Like, later down the track when they're running, you know, their friends are...
And then, of course, there's also surgery for cyberware and bioware.
That doesn't actually take that long. You'd be surprised how long that takes. Actually, I don't even think there's that intensive rules. I think it might be bullets and bandages for the full rules on that.
Then again, acquiring gear sometimes can also take a really long time, especially with the high restrictions.
That's in 4th. In 5th, we were doing it wrong for a little while, but how 5th works with acquiring gear is you have to beat the threshold, and when you beat it, depending on how much it costs, that's the delivery time. Over 10,000 it is a week, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when you start getting to the higher rungs with the more expensive, like, if you want to get a Gauss rifle, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, with 24F availability, you need to be able to get a social skill check and get 24 hits.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and you're probably going to fail that a few times before you make the check.
You can pay prices, 25% of the cost of the weapon, and get bonuses and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all in the game. Definitely, there's a lot to talk about Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? Maybe some characters that you guys have had you really wanted to talk about? Some conceptual ideas at all or anything?
I had this really cool eco-terrorist character who was a buff mage who went around with I forget I think he was a weapon specialist of some sort. And there was a 2-man party, and I was a buff mage, and also I think I had some...
Oh, that's when you were doing the mission to find Mr. Bombastic.
Yeah.
The explosives, who basically, like, just...
Went into hiding.
Well, no, he was working for the Yakuza. He went off the grid.
Yeah.
He went into hiding to hide from the Yakuza, but then he basically got kidnapped.
Yeah, but I found it was just a really cool character. I had a lot of fun playing. And then there was Loki, my mystic adept with the Raven mental spirit.
Was he a Mystic Adept?
Yes, he was.
He was in 4th edition a Mystic Adept?
Yes, he took. He had to take Traceless mental spirit. Raven didn't give it to you. No.
Okay. I thought he was a full-blown magician.
No, he only had 1 point in.
Okay.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Alright, yourself, Hobo. Got any characters you want to talk about?
The most fun character I've ever had was probably my 4th edition Technomancer Glitch. Although that really fully sort of allowed me to explore my own paranoia, and we weren't necessarily doing hacking right, but we had a lot of gripes with the system at the time for hacking in 4th.
I knew the rules, but I didn't like them.
Yeah.
I think we also changed hacking up a bit. We used attributes instead.
Yeah, well, I think we streamlined it a bit more so that we could just get things done faster, but I really enjoyed playing this sort of character who, upon meeting the party for the first time, pretty much hacked everyone's comlinks, told them as much as they could about them upon the first meeting, and basically did that with almost everyone she met, and it was very interesting, because I also wanted to see how much interest the other players would take in learning about the people they were running with, and in the end, no one ended up finding out, because I played her as with blandness as an androgynous female whose gender was not really discernible.
Yeah.
And because she was very guarded. And in the end, I don't think anyone ended up finding out that she was a female at the end of the campaign. By the end of the campaign, that campaign went on for a good 6 months. But I had a lot of fun playing the character, and it was really fun testing my wit against the other hackers, and even near the end where we caused some non-canonical events to happen, which shows how much things can escalate in that campaign. But it was a fun campaign.
That was the point of it, though.
Yeah, the whole campaign was about this massive escalation of all sort of events, and that was really fun. But I'm also really starting to enjoy the next Technomancer I'm playing right now, who's a very sort of different person, though, to when I played Glitch. An anarchist who doesn't behave or dress like an anarchist because it's not good to advertise your beliefs, your views in plain sight. It also means you're able to blend in a lot more and fit in, and it actually reminds me of a really funny character that you made in 4th, which was the man-child looking midget.
Oh, I never played that guy. That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played someone with neoteny.
Which is basically...
So they looked like a child, and they were a hacker. And they were a Technomancer hacker that would hang around begging
Yeah.
and hack things. That was his thing. That's what he did.
Yeah, and because he looked like a child, no
He
one
looked
would
like
really.
a child.
No one would really. Who's going to suspect the child of being the one who hacks your systems?
Yeah, he had 8 health.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if that was a crippling negative quality. I think it was 20 karma you got for that.
Yeah.
Neo Tony? Yeah, it was.
That's what I mean.
I think it lowered all your maximum physical attributes to like 5 or 4, and then your health was 6 plus 2 times your body.
Yeah.
Like half your body or whatever.
The last one I really just want to sort of touch on really quickly is the very first character I ever played. Of course, I built him completely wrong, and it was.
Oh god.
It was terrible. But it was basically a throwing adept, and I really liked it because I guess it was just me being lame and wanting to sort of go a gambit style by taking throw anything with like your sort of missile mastery. But he
threw
was
playing cards.
No,
he threw bullets.
I threw bullets. I had playing cards so I could take them into places where bullets weren't allowed. Basically, I just put bullets in my pocket and I just flick bullets at people and kill them by essentially just throwing bullets at them.
Monofilament. Knives.
Yeah, and then also javelins. We found out javelins were badasses. Oh god, throwing adepts with javelins are scary, but the character was really fun, and he went through a lot of. It was only a one-on-one sort of campaign. You even on the side at the time.
It was fairly long for how long we played it for. But...
I really enjoyed it. It was I felt like even though I was a combat character, I got to have a lot of different sort of interesting conversations, and I definitely did end up skilling more towards near the end. I actually started picking up negotiation, and it was when I started to really, I guess more. It was even though it was my first character, it was probably the character I've role played the most. I feel, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So. I feel like don't ever feel trapped from role-playing if you're playing a combat character.
No, it's completely, you can do it. It's just not always optimal for the group, but guess what? Who cares about the group? We're here for the RP.
And I think in some cases, because you're a combat character, you can find yourself in groups not doing a lot of combat, that your RP can work really well because of that, because you can start role-playing instead and maybe start talking to contacts that you have and just trying to help out what you can, and there can be some really strong roleplay perhaps around feeling perhaps not as useful during the non-combat sections of it, and it can make some really interesting stuff.
As long as the player yourself is still entertained while playing the game, it doesn't matter if there isn't any combat.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bluey, anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Any characters you want to speak about?
No, I already covered mine.
Yeah. Do you want to cover any from a GM standpoint, or from even a player standpoint?
I know I've had some characters, but I never get attached to them because I play 1 or 2 sessions. I've had troll characters, Yao Long, but we're not going to talk about him much.
Yao Long, the
young dragon, was like basically a jack of all trades character who I on purpose made him a dick. Yeah. And he was cocky, he was an asshole, and arrogant. And I had a lot of fun playing him, but I know Bluey was GMing and he did not enjoy GMing for him.
Mm.
No.
I purposely gave him less loyalty on his contacts that I gave him.
Yeah, because
Yao Long is a dick and thinks he's the best thing in the world.
And, I mean, he was a great recurring character when we played that campaign when I started GMing more.
Yeah.
Which was fun, which was cool.
He definitely makes a nice sassy NPC.
He's a sassy
especially when his uncle calls him up to sass him as well about not getting things done and not being back home on time because he's borrowing Uncle's scooter.
Actually, he had his own scooter in this part.
Yeah. Still.
Actually, it wasn't a scooter, it was a Suzuki Mirage, but this is the more badass Yao Long.
At least he thought he was more badass.
I mean, he had a lot of guns. He had so many tricked out guns.
Yeah, it's because he wanted to look cool like Johnny Woo.
Yeah, he actually had the most expensive long coat you can buy in the game.
Yeah.
He spent so much money on clothes. Anyway, enough of that. Build a character you want to build your troll adept rich guy if you want, but ultimately
try to.
Sadly, the biggest problem with this game is if you have a character that's suboptimal and a GM is either running it from a module or running it from a standpoint that you have a balanced party, you're going to have a problem. But talk to your GM, go, hey, we've made a party of entirely combat characters, but we enjoy this, maybe we can steer it towards something else. You can do that.
Yeah, we've played in several campaigns where we've all... This is the one thing I did want to cover, just quickly to start over. I feel like Shadowrun, you need to almost discuss... play any character you want, but I feel like Shadowrun only really works well when when you make characters together because you need a degree of party cohesion.
Yeah. Because
Shadowrun is a world where if you don't like someone and you don't trust them, you are not going to run with them again, and that can really... because I've only had this happen once or twice with Pathfinder games, and I think I've had it maybe happen once with a Shadowrun game, which was when he was playing his Raven Spirit, but...
Now I'm way more strict with it, though.
Yeah.
I will go to people, like, luckily with that game right now, no one's really a problem, which is fine. No one is a problem.
We all seem to be enjoying the sort of inter-party banter and sort of conflicts, but they're not at the stage where... Because
we're not at each other's throats.
I have to say, if this if it keeps going and keeps being the same intensity it is every single session, I might start to have a bit of a problem with it, because I like party drama sometimes, but I'm a person who really hates it when party drama happens all the time. And I've had bad experiences with that.
Yeah. But I don't see fear. You guys are basically going through the new Shadowrun group honeymoon period. I call it honeymoon. It's the horrible period where you're like, you could fucking kill me in my home. I'm not telling you what my name is at all. Who am I? Ooh, spooky.
I think you just act all secretive, and that's what's happening. And because everyone in this campaign, I've told everyone you have to have a dark past in one way or another,
or be very desperate.
Yeah, you have to be desperate. Like, that's the point of the campaign. And
which is going pretty well.
Yeah, it's going well. Everyone's
got
got
character who I think you have to sort of work with, which is
but he came to the session with a half-finished character anyway.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Whatever,
we'll work on that.
So I think that's all we have to say about character creation. I think that's it.
One thing I suggest, please. I know it's cyberpunk and it's dark and gritty dystopian futures, but please. Stay away from the characters who are overly brooding, because no one really wants to deal with a whole bunch of other people who are
uncool characters.
Yes, no one really wants to because if the whole party's a bunch of brooding dudes, no one's really going to want to work together because they're all a bunch of brooding assholes, and no one's really going to want to work with them because if they're more concerned about their ego and their sort of brooding and dark past, that it kind of gets in the way of getting things done, or is even harmful to the dialogue and the charisma. Then you start to kind of have a problem. And I know it's so easy to do that, because again, it is a sort of dystopian world, but try to ease off on that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it from us. If you have any suggestions of episodes that we should do in the future, leave it in comments below. Maybe some more episodes on Shadowrun. We can definitely do more. Talk about gear, talk about technomancers and hackers.
And anything we've missed that you think that was really important, let us know. We can do an episode where we do perhaps the gear, some other stuff, and talk about the things we missed. Because I really think that I think we've covered everything rather well, but I'm not sure we covered everything. What do you think, Bluey?
Yeah, no, of course we've skipped out on a lot of gear, and we didn't cover all the spells and qualities, but that's so much.
There's too much to cover.
So much content in this world.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a long episode at this point, but hopefully you've enjoyed it.
I think our character creations are long, but definitely worthwhile.
Oh yeah, character creation can go up to 4 hours with this shit.
Oh, if we went through everything, it could definitely go. I'd say 4 hours.
Just making a character. If you don't have a concept and you just read the books, it can take a long time. Anyway, I am Master Blast signing out. Hope you had fun.
Bluey Bloodnut. Catch you later.
And as always, the Enigma Hobo. I'm out. I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah, I know. That's